Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a case study presentation by Fouzan Sumait, Head of Data Science from Gulf Bank, who will talk about changing the data culture and practice and self-serve analytics adoption in Gulf Bank of Kuwait. At Gulf Bank of Kuwait, Fouzan leads the data science team, executing data and analytics projects to advance the data practices throughout business units. Recently, Fouzan led an organization-wide implementation of Tableau and an enterprise business intelligence tool, empowering over 150 employees to make data-driven decisions. Over to you, Fouzan.
Thank you, Noura. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Glad to be here. I am Fouzan Sumait. I'm the head of data science in the Gulf Bank of Kuwait. And today I'm here to talk about the data-driven transformation that we've done at Gulf Bank through adopting self-serve analytics. Noura, can I have the clicker? And how do I? Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. So, a few years ago, I used to be a business analyst, okay? I used to do these periodic reporting, monthly, yearly reports, and so on. And back then, whenever I did that, the way it went is I accessed multiple systems to gather data from. I opened like 6, 7 Excel sheets and compile this data. And the worst part is when I have to get data from other departments. So that's when I used to like send these extra polite emails and sweet talk them on the phone. And I don't know, maybe sometimes like send them cookies with a note, please send me the report today. Thank you very much. Nowadays, the business analysts at Gulf Bank don't need to do that at all. Now they only need to do their report once. Sorry about the finger here. They only need to do the report once, and they access real-time data. They can publish it to whomever they want in the organization with literally less than a minute, okay? So now we have a single source of truth in Gulf Bank. We have accessible data, published and shareable across the organization. And I'm here today to tell you how we've gone from normal reporting into self-serve analytics. So, sorry, just a second. Oh, there it is, okay. So, what we've done at Gulf Bank, we transformed the data culture through 3 main steps. First of all, we had an independent data office, which's role is to change the culture in the organization. And this data office embeds data champions across all organizations of Gulf Bank. And as a data office, we ensure the buy-in and support from the management and other Gulf Bank employees across the organization. So since we already have a data office and we established our roles, then we created an organization-wide learning program to ensure that all Gulf Bank employees are data literate and they understand concepts around data. And after empowering these employees, then we can use the infrastructure and tools to federate the analytics, and that's when we build on the business acumen of our employees. So here is a structure of our organization in terms of having a data office which is independent. It's similar to most major departments in the bank, such as HR, IT, and so on. And we communicate with other departments through the embedded data champions in the bank. So our main objectives in the data office is to manage data for the common good, which means that we make sure that everyone at Gulf Bank have access to the data that they need when they need it. We create training programs like kind of like a university curriculum program, which extends to 6-7 months for each batch, which we call them data ambassadors or data champions at Gulf Bank. And we ensure that there is buy-in and support from the whole organization, whether it's the management or everyone across the organization. So in this way, we're changing the data culture of the bank from normal reporting, periodical reporting, doing the tasks over and over again, into creating a report once, automated with real-time data, and that's how we achieve self-serve analytics. Now, since we are the data office and we have embedded data champions across the organization, these people also have roles to play. And of course, if you want to add roles to the normal and regular roles they do on a daily basis, you'll have to ensure that they are willing to help and they're willing to take these roles and responsibilities, because at the end it's helping them as well as the whole organization. So the roles of these data champions is to lead and coordinate the data efforts in their department. So these are called data ambassadors, and these are the point of contact from any place in the organization where they can access data from them and communicate data between departments. Now, they're also the ones who ensure to have a common language in terms of, let's say, for example, we have the marketing and the sales department. And each department have a different interpretation of the word profit. So the data champions in each of these departments are the ones responsible to create a common understanding of the term profit, so when they get it from their data, they understand what it means. Now, the role of, we're embedding these data champions across the organization because in reality, they are the ones who are changing the culture and changing the activities in the bank. So they are the ones who transform the reporting into data-driven, actionable insights. And they are the ones who facilitate the data supply chain from one department to another. If I need any data from the marketing department, I'll talk to the marketing department, a data champion, and so on. Now, in terms of ensuring buy-in, since, as the panelists said, since the pandemic hit, it's not hard to convince people of the importance of data. So when we add to that, how much it could help in improving a profit or decreasing costs or making the processes more efficient in the organization, this is when you get the buy-in and support from management. But how do we get the support from the data champions in the bank? Remember, we're adding roles to these people. We're giving them more tasks to do. So, as Marlon Brando says in The Godfather, we'll make them an offer they can't refuse, right? So what's our offer to them? First of all, we tell them how becoming data-driven impacts the day-to-day work. Instead of repeating all their tasks, they can automate it and even gathering more insights. And it's important to grasp the concept that if you have less time to work on the report, you'll have more time to work on the data and do your analytics. So what we've done at Gulf Bank, in addition to, of course, the advantage of having less work to do, we also gave them an official title from the bank as data ambassadors. Okay, so it's an official title from the bank, and we know that we have 150 data ambassadors, which is around 10% of the bank's workforce. So they're part of this clan. And of course, becoming a data ambassador at Gulf Bank, it entails that these employees will get a lot of training related to data and tools in business intelligence. So we've covered the part of the independent data office and the role they play with the embedded ambassadors. Now we're going to go to how we created an organization-wide data learning program. So what we've done at Gulf Bank, we grouped the employees into two different categories. 10% of the bank are data champions, which means they are the ones who are working with data on a daily basis. They are the ones who do the reporting, and they are the one who has access to most of the data. The other part is all other employees. They are people who are frontliners, people in the branches opening accounts to customers. These are the call center guys who respond to complaints. And usually these people are the ones who are inputting data into the bank system. So it's important for us to teach them about the importance of high quality data. Now, as for the Data Ambassadors program, as you can see, we created an official logo for them to make them feel that they are part of a group, they're here to collaborate, they're here to cooperate. And we created kind of a curriculum for them. In the beginning, we gave them an introduction to data concepts in terms of data quality, the importance of data. And then we gave them workshops on how to measure data quality, how they're able to find errors in their data and how to clean their data. And then we have continuous quality improvement programs month by month to ensure that their data quality, if not increasing, at least staying the same and not decreasing. Then and only then we give them training on business intelligence tools, data exploration, automation, and so on. As for the other part of Gulf Bank employees, these are the officers, even the managers, and the frontliners who have contact with customers. These are the ones where we give them training on how they impact the data quality in the bank. How do they play a role in the data and how it goes down the line from one department to another until it reaches the top for decision making. We give them concepts in understanding what is good data and how the data that they input can affect people who are looking into these data after them. And of course, the impact of bad data in reducing profit, increasing costs, lost opportunities, and so on. So the end goal of our program, which I'm proud to say that we've achieved so far, we have 1 in 10 employees as data champions, and we have 100% of the total Gulf Bank workforce as data literate. So after establishing the roles of the data office and the embedded champions and providing them with organization-wide learning, that is when we work on the tools to have federated analytics. And that is when we capitalize on the knowledge of business. So when we wanted to invest in business intelligence tools, reporting tools, and so on, we invested in tools that are easy, that provide data in a simple way, a way that it's publishable, it's shareable, and most importantly, we provided this technology stack that's catered to the regular business analyst, not like catered for data scientists or data engineers. And that's how we federate analytics and give the power of data to everyone across all departments of the organization. Of course, we invest in tools to ensure high data quality and data integrity. And even though we have a centralized data office, we have a decentralized kind of data scientists across all the organization. And we make sure that we invest in tools that help in supporting this vision. Now, of course, what we want to achieve is that with these tools and infrastructure, the employees will ask more questions related to data instead of trying to learn the new tools and learning the software. So this is a breakdown of Gulf Bank departments and the amount of data champions or data ambassadors, as we call them, in the bank. As you can see, we have consumer banking and risk management as the departments with the most data ambassadors in the bank. And that is because consumer banking is the biggest department in terms of number of employees. But when it comes to risk management, this is the department that has a lot of data. They rely heavily on data more than any other department, and that's why we have more data champions or ambassadors from them. So we want these employees to answer business-related questions, and we want them to focus on analysis rather than learning how to create reports or learning tools or doing over and over reports. We want them to build data dictionaries between them so they all can have a common language. And we want them to be a pool for us for the next data scientist in Gulf Bank. So as you can see from this chart, that there is no unit left behind and not a single employee in Gulf Bank that didn't get a training and support from the data office in order to become more data literate. Now, in conclusion, I'm just going to say that 3 steps to achieve the data-driven transformation at Gulf Bank. First of all, is to have independent data office with embedded data champions across the organization. Second thing is having a organization-wide data learning programs. And in the end, then we can capitalize on this knowledge and business intelligence tools and infrastructure to capitalize on the business acumen of Gulf Bank employees. Thank you very much. I am Fouzan Sumait. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.